I'll keep it down to about 25 minutes. Hi everybody and welcome along to another cook along with me, Aine Boyle from Good Food Nutrition. So I hope you had a brilliant Easter weekend. I hope you overindulged in the chocolate. You're probably still eating it as we are in our house. Today I'm going to be cooking a lovely spring dish with some lovely spring vegetables as well. So we're going to be making a delicious roast vegetable frittata, which is a posh name for like a Spanish omelette. And lots of lovely fresh vegetables in that. We're also going to be serving it with a fresh roasted garlic basil pesto on a lovely rocket salad. So I'm going to explain to you as I'm going along exactly what we're doing, but if you are cooking along today, you will be able to make this, leave it at room temperature later on, and that's your dinner sorted for tonight, and you can get yourself back out into the garden with a cuppa and relax, okay? So quick. We'll have it all ready within about 25 minutes. And again, just leave it out for tonight and that is your dinner sorted. So we'll get on nice and quickly with this. So I'm just going to get a pan on to like a medium heat with about 1 teaspoon of olive oil in it. So you're looking probably a pan, like a little omelette pan. If you can also make this into a bigger portion by using like a much bigger pan or even like a big wide pan as well. Okay, obviously it's going to take you a lot longer if your pan is bigger. But on this one here, again, just a little omelette size, and we've got about 1 teaspoon of olive oil or coconut oil in there. So we're just going to get that on to a medium heat, and then I'm going to sort of go through the vegetables that I was using here, but I'm just going to get our onions on as well. So I have 1 red onion, again, red onion, white onion. You can also use leeks as well, but today I had half a red onion in the fridge. And I know we're trying to use up our leftovers because obviously we're only shopping once a week, so we'll go with that one. So I'm just going to slice that down into small little slices. And we're going to let that oil heat up a little bit, and then we're going to gently fry off our onions. Just as well at this point, if you are cooking live with us, is get your grill on to a nice high heat as well, because we're going to start this off on the pan, and then we're going to slip it under the grill to finish it off, okay? So our onions, I have just sliced them down to about that size, and I'm actually going to gently fry them off. And I have here, you'll see here, my lovely little friend, I have some lovely fresh thyme, okay? So again, that's just going to flavour the base of the frittata as well. So in we go with our onions. And again, that's at about a medium heat. So again, we're just going to gently fry them off for a couple of minutes. I'm also just going to put in the thyme just as is. Don't be too fussy about pulling off the leaves as well, because you can actually just take that out once it's flavoured it. So give that a little mix around to get that starting to cook, and just watch it doesn't burn as well. This is a gorgeous, simple dish as well to do. And it's one of those ones as well, if you are getting the kids into the kitchen as well, so easy for them to make as well. Now, while that's cooking away, again, just watch it doesn't catch. And I may just even turn that down slightly. Now, put that to one side. Our vegetables today that I'm going to be using is some of my favourite. Again, like all the other days, is we are looking to see what's in the fridge, what can we make out of it, using up leftovers as well. This is one where whatever vegetables you want to put into it, as much or as little as you like, that's how you do it. Now, what I did earlier on, you'll see here, is I took 1 yellow pepper, 1 courgette, 1 sweet potato, and about 3 cloves of garlic. And I just popped them into a little casserole dish like this, mixed a little bit of olive oil around it, and some fresh thyme in there as well, a little bit of sea salt, a little bit of black pepper in there. And what I did is I roasted that off for about 45 minutes at 180 degrees. And the reason I did that as well is that with your vegetables, when you roast it off, is you're getting that real depth of flavour that you just don't get by just cooking it on the hob. Particularly the sweet potato, the flavour becomes a lot more enhanced. The peppers become lovely and sweet as well. The courgettes as well get that nice crispiness around the outside. So it is just a different texture to the veg, but also a different taste. So I roasted them off. They're actually nice and warm even now, and we're going to be using those in the frittata. So give your onion and your thyme here a quick mix around, obviously because you don't want to catch them at the bottom and you do not want it burning. So you can see there where we're at with this. Just lovely. The thyme is smelling gorgeous. Now, I'm not going in with garlic at this point with this, simply because I don't particularly like a huge taste of garlic off my frittata. And effectively what a frittata is, as I said earlier, is it's a posh omelette, okay? So it's based on the sort of Spanish omelettes. You can also use sliced potato in there as well. I'm not going to today, as I say, as I want mine more vegetable based. So what we're going to be doing is, the base of it is our onions flavoured with our thyme. We have our lovely roast vegetables here. You can also add in some frozen peas as well, but I'll be having this later on with my husband, and he doesn't like peas, so we're not going in with those. I'm going to be adding in six eggs. So we're just going to crack these into a bowl. Just make sure that is cooking away nicely there. So 6 eggs into a bowl. So 6 large free-range eggs, or organic eggs if you can get them. And again, depending on the size of your pan, you know, if you're going a smaller pan than that, you will find you need less eggs. If you're going a massive big pan, you might need 12 eggs. You know yourself. You basically want the eggs to cover the mix of the vegetables and whatever else is in there as well. So if it's not coming up the sides and covering it, add in another couple of eggs in there as well. Because the idea is that you're baking it until it's just set. And obviously you want all of the vegetables covered on it as well. So we go in with 6 eggs here. And I'm just going to get rid of this. And then into that, my usual of a little bit of black pepper. A good grinding now of black pepper for flavour. I love it. A little bit of my pink Himalayan sea salt. So if you can't get your hands on this, because obviously, you know, not every shop is open, some good organic sea salt, nice sort of the rock salt as well. Not your table salt, because obviously the reason I use this particular salt is that it's been less processed and there's still an awful lot of the minerals in it as well, particularly our magnesium. Now, give that a little mix around. You just want to break up those egg yolks in there as well. And these are gorgeous colour now because I managed to get my hands on some lovely organic eggs. So just loosely mix that around, just until it's slightly combined. And that's perfect. Now, back to our onions here. And these are looking gorgeous and soft. I'm just going to show you what they look like that. So you can see they've kind of got like crispy edges around them. And the lovely smell from the thyme is coming as well. Delicious. Absolutely. Do get into the habit of cooking with herbs as well. Not only are they really good for our health, for our digestive system as well, but they just transform the flavour of your dishes as well. Now, I'm just going to take out the cooked thyme there. You can leave it in if you like, but the flavour's in there. And to be honest with you, it just ends up with the little stringy bits in it when you cut through, which I don't want. So I'm just going to pick them out and get rid of them. Okay, and that is looking lovely. Now, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a selection of our vegetables here. So we want some of our lovely peppers. We want some of our sweet potatoes, our courgettes in there. And I'm just going to spread these around our pan nice and evenly as well to make sure that everybody gets a little bit of everything in there. And the colours are just stunning. We've got the most beautiful yellows and oranges and everything in there. I'm going to show you now. We've got the lovely green as well from the courgette. So again, this is a fantastic way of using up little leftover bits of veg in there. whatever you have, you know, if you have a few little roast carrots or anything like that left over from last night's dinner, whack them in as well, you know, make use of it. Now, I'm just going to show you basically what this is looking like now. So you see all those beautiful colours. You've got the yellow peppers, the orange sweet potatoes. Again, you could add in some lovely roasted butternut squash. But again, it's eating with our eyes and seeing that gorgeous, gorgeous colours in there. And it just screams really healthy and nutritious to me. Okay, so we've already seasoned our eggs, so we're not going to worry too much about that. We're going to very gently, you'll see me here, is pour in our eggs around so that it's actually covering all of the veg. So I can see actually is that we can fit in the rest of these lovely veg as well here. I wasn't sure if it was going to sort of come up over the top of the pan, but there's no point in wasting it. So we're just going to go in and pour it over the top. And what you'll see is that very quickly, because the bottom of the pan is still lovely and hot, we'll turn up our heat there, is that is going to start to set from the bottom. And then obviously as we're going to finish it off under the grill, and then it's going to be just barely set. You don't want it really hard because you want that kind of still that wobble in the egg as well. Otherwise it becomes exceptionally eggy to kind of eat, whereas you want it more that the vegetables are the forefront of the dish. So I'm just going to get rid of a couple of little bits here. I'm going to come back to the rest of the dish as well. Now, for the next part of our dish, again, this is just be careful and keep your eye on this because as I say, it is going to cook quite quickly. I'm using like a little sort of spatula here or a palette knife just to check along the sides. And I'm going to give it a couple of minutes to cook on that side, and then I'm going to say whack it under the grill as well. Now, if you have other things that need used up as well, the frittata here, absolutely delicious. If you have a little bit of feta cheese, so even the feta cheese is great because it holds its shape. So you can even just break off little chunks, pop it in there, and even when you put it under the grill, it's still going to be absolutely delicious. It's still going to hold its bite as well. So it's not going to melt all over the top of it. So that's kind of the difference. I sometimes as well add in, you know, if you have a little bit of leftover chicken, perhaps you've roasted off as well, it goes really, really well. At the end, when you see me serving it as well, it goes delicious with some sliced up smoked salmon just on the top. And we're going to be serving it with the rocket salad. So straight away, you can turn it into a really sort of nutritious meal, but also a big meal as well. Okay, so adding little bits and bobs in as well. So if you have extra tomatoes in the fridge as well, you can pop those tomatoes in at this stage and they will cook very gently. If you have a bit of sweet corn in there as well, we're just going to make sure it's not burning on the bottom. That's great. So you can kind of, the bottom of it should be starting to set. And we're just going to run the palette knife round just to make sure that nothing is sticking in there. Oh, that's just looking lovely. Absolutely delicious. And it gets a lovely colour then on the bottom as well from the onions. Yes, and for leftovers in it. So basically, whatever you have in the fridge that you need used up, if you have a little bit of ham left over, stick that in as well. Get the kids involved as well, and you know you can make two. You can make an adult style one with the vegetables that you prepare or prefer, and then the kids can jump in with a little bit if they want a little bit of chicken in there, a bit of sweet corn in there, a bit of peppers in there as well. Mushrooms go great. Whatever. It's whatever you have in the fridge goes absolutely wonderful. So I'm just going to take a little look underneath. Still quite loose, but we are getting there. Now it's one of those where make sure your pan is non-stick or well greased, okay? Otherwise, you could end up with problems as you're turning it out. Now, okay, so what I have also got as well is to go with this, I have a lovely basil pesto dressing. Now, you can, of course, buy your dressings as well, but the ones that are full of flavour and the ones that are nice tend to be quite expensive, and rightly so, because the ingredients in them are much, much nicer. Okay, but I find is that by mixing, if you have a couple of nice little dressings sort of up your sleeves, then you can mix and match them and you can change the ingredients up. And it means then you always have a couple of jars in the fridge. So one of my favourites that I have here is my basil. Sorry, I'm just checking this again, just to make sure. Oh, that is looking wonderful. Okay. Lovely. We're going to give that another minute and then we're going to go into the grill. So, yes, one of my favourites is my basil pesto. And what I did is when I roasted off those veg, I also threw in 3 cloves of garlic. And the reason I did that is because when you roast garlic in its in the skins, and then basically, if I show you here what I do is, so the skins, it looks like this. Get one of these. It looks like this going into the oven, but when you roast it off, it becomes, as you can see there, the skin just pops off, and you end up with the most stunning roasted garlic, which goes from kind of that heat that you get from the normal garlic into a really beautiful sweet flavour. So I'm going to pop this now under the grill at this point, and just make sure that is cooking well. Lovely. Now, our grill is preheated to a high, so I'm just going to pop this in, and I'm going to let this cook off just while I make the dressing. So we're just going to set our timer on that for about 5 minutes, and we'll let that do its business there. Okay, now, so yes, our garlic, beautifully sweet as well. So we're actually going to go in with one of those. They're quite pungent, but don't throw out, I roasted off 3, don't throw out the other ones because they're absolutely gorgeous, spread on some toasted sourdough and then sort of topped up with other things like hummus, like chicken, turkey, or whatever. Really, really delicious. Absolutely, swear by it. So in we're going to go one of our roasted garlic. We are going to go in with about 50 grams of our cashew nuts. Now, when I'm talking about our cashew nuts, I'm talking about just the plain ones, unroasted, unsalted, okay? No salted, no roasted nuts, takes away from the whole flavour. Plus, you want your good essential fats from your nuts as well. You can also as well use walnuts in this one. It's lovely, it's a stronger taste. And the only reason using the cashew is that it's a milder taste. So in we're going to go with about 50 grams. So we'll say that's about that. We are going to go in with a little bit of our black pepper. So again, a good grinding of our black pepper. Now, if you want to make this vegetarian, I would say you leave out the Parmesan, okay? And then at which point you would add a pinch of salt. Now, I have to say is that I love the Parmesan in it because I think it gives it a really sort of a different taste, a kind of stronger taste as well. The Parmesan being quite a salty cheese, I don't tend to add the salt in, but I only go in with a little bit, but it really does transform it. I don't eat a lot of dairy, but for certain dishes, I feel that you need it in order for it to get that proper flavour. So in we go with a few little scrapes of our Parmesan. And again, what it does is gives it kind of, how would you say, a kind of mature flavour. So absolutely lovely. So again, just those little bits there. And then also as well, what am I going to go in with? Yes, my basil. Okay, so we have this beautiful basil plant here. Smell of it, absolutely divine. Okay, couldn't live without it, just gorgeous. So we're going to go in with a load of the leaves on this. And you just want to try and pull the bigger leaves off and leave the smaller ones to kind of grow. And that means you'll constantly have a supply of basil in the kitchen. So again, just go in with the bigger ones. You don't tend to need that much of it because when you're whizzing it up with a lovely oil, is, you know, a little goes a long way. And it is quite a strong flavour as well, basil, but it goes gorgeous with this frittata. And again, is the excess then can be just kept in the fridge and just use it to drizzle over some salads, over some chicken, some fish, gorgeous, whatever you want goes on. Also for the kids as well, it goes brilliant on lovely toasties as well if they're having that at this stage. And also as well, if you're making soups, drizzle a little bit over the top of the soup, absolutely delicious. Okay, I think that'll do us for now. Now, alongside this, I also have a gorgeous Greek extra virgin olive oil. As you've seen in all of my videos, is make sure you get into the habit of getting yourself a really good quality extra virgin olive oil. You pay for what you get, definitely. The cheaper ones do not have the same flavour. So this is a lovely Greek one. okay? And if possible, get your hands on a good organic one, because then you know the only thing in there is the olives, nothing else. So we're going to go in with about 3 tablespoons. Now, as a chef, I don't tend to measure. I just tend to throw it in and see what happens. So that's about 3 tablespoons. And what we're going to do now is we're going to whiz that up, and then we're going to taste it and see if it needs anything else in there. You can, of course, double, treble, quadruple the recipe of that. Pop it in a little jar straight into the fridge. But for today, I'm just going to use a little bit. So I'll put another teeny drizzle in there. And then I'm just going to put this. This is just going to go onto the NutriBullet. So this is why having the little blender in the kitchen is very handy for making things like this. So a bit noisy for a second, guys. And we'll just blend this up. And what you find is you have to sort of scrape it down a few times, obviously, because otherwise it's going to be quite chunky. So we're just going to, and at the same time, just keep your eye on your frittata as well, so that doesn't burn. So I'm just going to add in another tablespoon. I'll measure this one for our olive oil. And just pop the lid on there and give it another whiz. So noise is coming again, guys. Now you can have it as smooth or as chunky as you like. You decide. And on this one, I might just leave it like that because it's kind of like a little bit chunky, which is how I like it. I'm just going to test that. But first of all, I'm just going to check the frittata here as well from under the grill. Oh, this is looking amazing. Absolutely amazing. So I'm going to give it, you can see sort of what it's starting to look like there. I'm going to give it another couple of minutes just because I can see that the egg is just slightly still running in the middle. And while we want it nice and soft, we obviously don't want to kill anybody with raw eggs. So let's just give this a little taste and see how it's come out. You can then decide if you actually do need the salt in it or whether you don't, okay? Totally up to yourself. Oh, gorgeous. Gorgeous. I'm actually going to go in with a little pinch of the salt because clearly that Parmesan is not overly salty. So again, just give that a little mix around. And we're just going to take the excess of that from the top of the blender. Oh, that is just divine. Gorgeous. So simple. Just a little handful of ingredients is just your cashew nuts, your basil, a little bit of your roast garlic in there as well. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay, now we're just going to have a little clean down and then we're going to get ready to serve. So you can see how quickly everything comes together with this dish. So we'll get ourselves one nice plate. Now for this one, I'm just going to get myself a dry tea towel. This is one where you definitely need a dry tea towel because obviously you're lifting something out of the grill. And the last thing you need is to be burning the hand off yourself. So we'll pop that to one side. And we're actually going to serve this with a little bit of rocket. So we're just going to drizzle over the rocket and we're just going to mix it together very gently in a bowl. I should show you this now. And then what you can do is you can also then drizzle a little bit over the frittata, but you can see we've just dressed it very, very lightly just to sit on the top. So we'll leave that to one side. And we're just going to go back and check our frittata here. Oh, that is looking fantastic. Okay, so just going to show that to you before I flip it out. You can see there it comes out, completely pops up. This is why I'm saying is make sure the pan you're using is the right size. Otherwise, you're going to end up, it's going to overflow onto your all over your grill. So pan in this hand, plate in this hand, and we're going to flip it. And we're going to hopefully, oh, it's going to come out, lovely. Little bit of it stuck there. But what I'm going to do now is I'm actually just going to slip it back into the pan because if it makes sense to you, is I want it to come out that side. Okay, there's a little bit stuck in there. That will not go to waste for later on. So, You can see here our gorgeous frittata. What I'm just going to do is very quickly recap on everything and then finish dressing it off. And yeah, hopefully that makes total sense to you. Again, for a lot of other recipes as well, is if the frittata isn't your thing today, is on my website www.goodfoodnutrition.co.uk. There is loads of recipes there for breakfast, lunch, dinner, sweet treats, healthier alternative to chocolate treats as well. So if this isn't your bag of tricks, please go to the website, and there's loads of other things there for you as well. Now, so just to recap quickly, I had roasted off a pepper, courgette and sweet potato, a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of salt and pepper, and some fresh thyme. I also put in 3 garlic cloves in there, and I roasted that in the oven for about 45 minutes. I then took that out and let it cool. In our pan here, I had half a sliced onion and a little bit of fresh thyme, cooking off gently in about 1 teaspoon of olive oil. Once that was cooked off for a few minutes, I then added in our roast vegetables in there, just arranged it so that they were nicely, so there was a little bit in each corner of the pan. Into that, I added 6 beaten eggs, flavoured up with a little bit of sea salt and black pepper, just to cover it. Cooked it off on the hob there for about 4 to 5 minutes until the bottom of it was nicely set. I then popped it under a preheated grill that was heated to high. Let that cook off there for about 5 to 6 minutes until basically it was nice and solid. And I then inverted it and turned it out onto the plate as well. So what I'm just going to do here, oh yes, and then for the basil pesto, nearly forgetting about that, is so 50 grams of cashew, a big handful of fresh basil, little bit of Parmesan cheese. If you wanted, you can leave it out. Some lovely organic extra virgin olive oil, a little bit of black pepper in there. I put a pinch of sea salt in there as well. And of course, one of my lovely roasted garlic bulbs as well. Blitz that all in the NutriBullet. And again, that is something, get yourself a little jam jar, stick that in the jam jar, lid on, and that will keep in the fridge for about 7 days. But I just used a little bit of it here to dress a little bit of rocket salad here, you can see. And I'm just going to arrange this on the top of the frittata. And you can see now how quickly, like if you had this with a little bit of extra side salad, there's a lot of eating in there as well. So, and there's nothing to stop you as well as if you wanted to add in or have something like some chickpeas in there as well. Nothing to stop you whatsoever. You know, it's totally up to yourself. Now I'm just going to put another little drizzle sort of around this. And then onto the top, a little drizzle of our lovely olive oil. And then also what I like doing is, simply because I love colour as well, is a few little mint leaves on there as well. And the mint again will cut through sort of the flavour, this kind of like a fresh flavour, and that cuts through all the other flavours on there as well. And then you get that lovely sort of fresh flavour into it. Really, really lovely. So we'll just arrange them nicely. That's the chef and me, always wanting to put a bit of herbs on something. And one last one. And of course you can as well is do sort of handfuls of fresh parsley, coriander, whatever you get your hands on. I know at the moment everything's in short supply. So that is my gorgeous spring roast vegetable frittata, served with my roasted garlic basil pesto dressing. And you can see there how lovely it is, also how simple it is as well. So if you enjoyed the recipe, please give us a like or a comment below the video. If you have any questions, you can of course go to my, you can contact me via my Facebook group, which is Good Food Nutrition, or else get in touch via the website, which is goodfoodnutrition.co.uk. And as always, it's my pleasure doing the cook-alongs with you. I hope you enjoyed it as well. And I will see you back here at, on Friday afternoon at 3 o'clock for more weekend cooking. Have a fantastic day, everybody, and see you Friday.